Good morning, everybody. Today, I am covering two topics, that is fiber joint losses and fiber splices. In the last class, I covered the fiber related losses and also fiber alignments. Today, let me continue with the same thing, and this is the extension part of the last topic, the fiber joint losses. Here, the two books to be referred, that is already I mentioned. Once again, I'm repeating Optical Fiber Communication by Gerd Kaiser, and second one, Optical Fiber Communication by John Senior. And here, one of the very important thing, the fiber related losses. The losses in fiber cables also causes due to difference in geometrical and fiber characteristics. So here geometrical characteristics also very important and fiber character both are equally important. There is a difference in geometry and variation in core diameter. That is very important. Variation core diameter may not be same from one part of the fiber to another part. Fiber is running throughout the distance of communication. That is a distance of communication may be 50 meters or it may go up to 100 kilometers. So throughout the length of the fiber, the entire distance, the variation in core diameter that happens practically because the very sophisticated technology is a minute in structure, is a hair size structure. This happens. And next one, core area ellipticity. This is core area, sometimes in some part of the fiber that is circular, and after some time that may be bit elliptical or more elliptical. The core area ellipticity, that also, because either it is circular or elliptical. And numerical aperture, that is the power gathering capability of the fiber, power acceptance angle, so it must be more, and it has to receive the complete optical power. So this is mentioned in terms of numerical aperture. Numerical aperture also, it is responsible for fiber losses, fiber joint losses. And next is refractive index profile. Refractive index profile, and it must be uniform. It must be common throughout the fiber. But practically there is some difference. Refractive index profile, and it is not same from sending end of the fiber to destination point. Next is core cladding concentricity. Core cladding concentricity, it's a manufacturing problem, a geometrical problem or geometrical difference, and fiber characteristics or materials, maybe whatever may be, the core cladding interference, the concentricity, that also causes certain losses. So next, let me go through the some of the other factors which causes fiber joint losses. The user has less control over these variations. So user, once if he purchases, he doesn't have control. So these joint losses, it completely depends upon the manufacturing process, the material technology, fabrication process, and design concepts, etc. And since they are related to manufacturing process, and also one more thing, coupling loss when emitter fiber radius, so that is AE, and receiving fiber radius AR. So we have to compare these two. So that means we are joining two fibers together, either by splicing mechanism or by means of connectors. That is known as connectorization. So we have to interface core to core and cladding to cladding. And here, in terms of AE and AR, we can understand. And AE may not be same as AR. AE is nothing but that's the radius of the emitting end of the fiber. AR is the radius of the receiving end of the fiber. When we are joining together, a permanent connectorization or temporary connectorization, this may not be same, may not be aligning. There is a disalignment, there is a misalignment. So this causes certain fiber joint losses. So some mathematical expressions which are given here, you can see this. So L is nothing but that is a loss due to this particular fiber joints, and F is the fiber, and which is a function of A. A is the radius of the fiber. So that is expressed like this, minus 10 log of AR by AE square. The condition is that for AE, AR is less than AE. If AR is less than AE, that is the meaning is that the receiving end of the fiber, if it is less than emitting end of the fiber, so the loss is equal to minus 10 log of AR by AE square. If not, that is another condition, for AR is greater than or equal to AE, then it is said to be 0. That is clearly mentioned. Next, you can see this one. Coupling loss when numerical aperture. There is one more parameter, numerical aperture. Numerical aperture is very important because that is the power gathering capability of the fiber. The maximum power that must be collected by the fiber, either by LED or other fiber. Fiber to fiber joint, LED to fiber, or fiber to photo detector. Numerical aperture is so important. It is in optics uh, too much importance for the numerical aperture. Now, as far as joint loss is concerned, the numerical aperture, which is one of the important parameter, the loss, which is the function of numerical aperture in the fiber, that is equal to minus 10. Here 10 stands for power. We are measuring power. Minus 10 log of numerical aperture of the receiving end of the fiber by numerical aperture of the emitting end of the fiber. Square of that. That is equal to this much. This is the value. The condition is for a numerical aperture of the receiving end of the fiber if it is less than numerical aperture of the emitting end of the fiber. So this is the value. If it is less than that, if it is more than that, then it is said to be 0. And numerical aperture doesn't play any role here. That means we have to design in such a way that numerical aperture of the emitting, that is a receiving end of the fiber, that must be more than numerical aperture of the emitting end of the fiber. Now, one more, the coupling loss. We have to minimize the coupling loss. Coupling loss when core refractive index of two fibers are not same. That is expressed like this: coupling loss that must be 0. Ideally it is 0, theoretically it is 0, but practically it exists. It has certain losses. There is a loss, the coupling loss, which is mentioned mathematically, that is minus 10 log of, that is alpha or alpha e plus 2, that is divided by alpha e by alpha r plus 2. There is a formula which is given. Scientists, they are given this formula. It has been proven. And for alpha r is less than alpha e. Otherwise, this loss, whole loss will be 0 if alpha r is greater than or equal to alpha e. That is mentioned here. Next, so we have to minimize this coupling loss. We have to minimize this fiber joint loss. To minimize this, some precautions must be taken. Certain precautions are there, and if the stress distribution is not properly controlled, if the stress distribution is nothing but the stress on the emitting end of the fiber and receiving end of the fiber. If it is not properly controlled, then definitely it leads to losses. So if we take precaution, the stress, if there is no stress, if stress distribution is properly, uniformly, if it is applied, then definitely we can control. And another one, fiber can deform into several cracks. We have to avoid this one. Sometimes there is a stress in some, because fibers are laid down throughout the country in certain area, certain soil condition, and some traffic, for example automobiles are moving across the road, so across the road fibers are laid down, automobiles are moving on that, there is a stress on that. So this is unequal distribution of the, because of that there are cracks in the glass or optical fibers, so that causes certain losses. There is a giant loss, and various types of defects can be introduced in the fiber because of these things. There are maybe fabrication process may not be properly coupled, maybe some other external reasons or internal reasons, and there are so many different types of losses which causes losses, and many defects are there, and few of the defects which are mentioned here we can go through one of the other. And here the defect type is mentioned, and description also it is clearly given. The first defect, that is lip. Lip is nothing but a sharp protrusion that prevents the core from coming to close contact. This is a major, this one. A lip is the name of the defect. Scientists, they call lip. A sharp protrusion that prevents the core from coming close contact. The second one is roll off. Roll off, that is another defect. The description is the rounding off of the edge of the fiber. Rounding off. That is a defect. It may be manufacturing process, or when you are splicing, when you are connecting, that leads to certain loss. It's a small amount of loss, but it's a cumulative. So we have to consider this also. Next, third one, chip. A chip is a localized fracture. A localized. It's a chip. Also, it is enormous because it's a cumulative. Chip is a localized fracture. So we have to avoid. We have to minimize. At least we have to minimize that one. So next defect is that is hackle. What is hackle? Hackle, that is irregularities across fiber end. So there is a irregularity. A designer has taken care, a fabricator he has taken care, and when you are installing fiber, care was taken. In spite of that, there is a small defect. It's a hackle, and the irregularities across fiber end. So this also we have to minimize the joint loss, minimize the coupling loss. A hackle, that defect should be controlled. Next is mist. Mist is nothing but it is a similar to hackle. They are calling mist. Mist is nothing. See, it is a some part of a. It's a type of a dust type of this one. Exactly, it is not dust, but a mist type. So it's a similar. It's a optical properties, optical characters. It is minimizing because glass is a completely transparent material. But here, the mist which causes opaque type, bit opaque type. So next is step. Step is nothing but an abrupt change in end face surface. This also we have to avoid. We have to minimize the step. Next is shuttering, and this is result of uncontrolled fracture. So this is major one, and here we have to replace the fiber. These are the different types of fibers. So next, let me go through one more topic, that is the fiber splices. Without fiber splices, we cannot imagine optical communication. As I mentioned in the last class, there are so many splice connections, splicing from one point of the fiber to another point of the fiber. A fiber is a guiding medium, and here it is a sophisticated technology, and here the light which is launched from one end of the fiber to another end of the fiber, and so many splice connections are required, and every 500 meters fiber there is a splice connection. Just imagine how many splice connections from one point to another point. There may be thousands, there may be hundreds. So it depends upon the distance of communication. And what is splice? What is splicing technology? Here, a permanent or semi-permanent connection between two individual optical fibers is known as fiber splice. It may be permanent also. Most of the cases is permanent because every 500 meter fiber, because installation is one of the very important in fiber optic technology. Investment, they are investing huge amount during installation. Once it is installed, means that fiber optic cables can be utilized for up to 20 years. So investment is a huge investment. The splicing connections, splicings, there are so many splicings because during installation is a difficult task. So every 500 meter fibers which are joined together to form a single structure. Just imagine a 550 kilometers means 50 kilometers. There are 100 splice connections. 500, 100, 200 or 100 different fibers which are joined together, a core to core, cladding to cladding, and make a common structure. Just imagine, and there must be proper coupling between core to core and cladding to cladding. Next, and the process of joining two fibers is called as splicing. It is exclusively for fiber to fiber joining. It is a permanent structure, permanent connectorization, that is called as splicing. And typically, a splice is used outside the building. It is not inside the building. And here, inside the building also important, outside the building also very. Telecommunication, that is completely it is covered, completely it is covered in the country, completely in the world. So it is splice connections are required outside the building, but connectorization or connectors are required inside the building. Next, connectors are used to join the cables within the buildings. So buildings, there are so many cities, metros, small cities, urban cities, and every building this optical fiber communications, that is effectively utilized. Without optical communication, we cannot imagine telecommunication. Telecommunication is a very wide and internet facility, whatever you are using now, telecommunication, and that is because of optical fibers only. Optical fibers, which provides larger bandwidth, security is very good, and higher data rate compared to other communication, and easy to use also. And here, splice offers lower attenuation, and splices offer lower back reflection. Here, attenuation because of splice very less. It's a permanent connection, and crosstalk also. Crosstalk, you can say that lower back reflection. Reflection in microwave communication they call reflection. It is some they call in electronics loading, and here reflection. Back reflection is very less because the alignment is properly done, and core to core interfacing, clouding to clouding interfacing, that is well done. And connectors offer higher back reflection. Connectors, there's a it can be dismantled, it can be reconnected, and it's a temporary connection. It is a semi permanent also. It is not a permanent one. It has higher back reflection. It causes more loading. A signal transfer from one point to another point, there's a huge amount of losses. Signals may not reach the destination using connectors. Splices are better than connectors, but splices are permanent connection. Once if you join two fibers, you cannot dismantle it. And splices are less expensive. Is due to mass fabrication, and it is said to be less expensive. Next, types of splicing. There are a variety of splicing. Here, there are two main types of splicing. The fusion splicing they call, fusion. Fission is different. Fusion is nothing but and joining together two fibers, properly joining core to core, clouding to clouding. That is, there must be proper alignment, and that is known as fusion splicing. Fusioning. Second one is mechanical splicing. Mechanical splicing, that may not be good. It is not a permanent one. It is a temporary mechanical splicing. And mechanical splicing is also known as V groove. Next, fusion splicing. Let me say something about fusion splicing. Fusion splicing involves butting. In optical communication, they call one of the word, that's the butting. It is nothing but fusion splicing, and butting is a particular word they're using. And what is this? That is two clean fiber end faces and heating them until they melt together to fuse. Here, they are making a single structure. Splicing is a permanent connection, two fibers joined together and making a permanent structure. And here heating is required, and the end parts of the sending end of the fiber as well as melting, it is bit melting, and afterwards they are joining permanently. So this is known as butting. The fusion splicing is normally done with a fusion splicer. There is a machine called fusion splicer. Using that machine they can do that one, and here microscopic alignment is required, and this controls alignment of the two fibers. And here one of the very important thing, and there is a small amount of loss. The loss is very much meager. It's a very minute, and it keeps losses as low as 0.05 decibels. There is a loss. Ideally there should not be loss, but it's a practical mechanism. And when you're joining two fibers together, a permanent fusing, when you're doing this one, certain amount of loss occurs. That is 0.05. That is for each splice. There are so many splices. Every 500 meters there is a splice connection. Just imagine it is a cumulative one, and we have to take care about that. Next, continuation with this. Fiber ends are first pre-aligned and butted together. Pre-alignment, manually difficult to do this. There is a microscopic alignment. Microscopic machines are required, and pre-aligned, thereafter butted together. Butted is nothing but joining together, joining core to core, cladding to cladding together under the microscope with micro manipulators. There are certain alignment. Let me show that figure. Micro manipulators, even micron type. It may not be nanoscopic but microscopic, and alignment. There is a small amount of misalignment, but they have to make it. This optical technology, it is a sophisticated, it's a delicate, and core-to-core interfacing, clouding-to-clouding interfacing. That is a very very important. The butted joint is heated with the electric arc. A small amount of electric, this one electric arc that is applied to that one, and the fiber which will be melting both the end of the core and cloud, it will be melting, and finally fusion takes place. Or laser pulse to melt the fiber and so can be bonded together. They are using a bonded together. It must be bonded together, core to core and cladding to cladding. And figure that shows the fusion splicing of the optical fibers. You can see this diagram, and this diagram gives a clear picture about fusion splicing. And here, a microscopic manipulators which are shown here, and electric arc also it is mentioned, and electric arc or laser is a intense beam which is applied to that particular point, so that fusion between two fibers takes place. And this is a permanent structure, and optical fibers to be spliced, that is also mentioned, and micro manipulator fiber instruments also, that is clearly shown. You can have a look about it. Fusion splicing of optical fibers, this is very important. Next, let me go through one more type of splicing, that is known as mechanical splicing. This is also known as V-groove. What is this? Mechanical splicers join two fibers together by clamping them. They're clamping them, it may not be a permanent structure. It is a temporary structure. They are using a laboratory for testing purpose to test the fiber, whether it is correct or not. Before installation, they are testing the characteristics, properties of the fiber. They are testing. So it is a mechanical splicing, and these are accomplished with a structure or by epoxying the fibers together. Structure, either it's a permanent or semi-permanent or temporary, and epoxying the fibers together. Temporarily they are joining this one, and mechanical splices may have a slight higher loss. So here it's not a permanent structure, it has higher loss, slightly higher loss. And mechanical splices may have a higher back reflection. That is also common. A back reflection that must be reduced, it must be very much minimum. And as I mentioned, this is a temporary connection to test the fibers, and they are doing this experiment. Thereafter they will take, and it's a temporary, it's a inter buildings, and somewhere laboratory they're using this one. This can be reduced by inserting index matching gel is a transparent material. It is a purely transparent, ultra pure, and that is inserted, and both, it will be, it's a gumming type material, and both the fibers that will be gummed together, and this can be dismantled also. But this is not like a splice connection, a permanent connection, but here it is a temporary, but it gives maximum amount of loss compared to the splice connection, maybe up to zero point 0.1 dB losses for each mechanical splicing or V groove. You can see the structure of that one, and here if you see this one, and fibers to be spliced, that is given, it is mentioned, it's like a arc shape, so that the stress which is applied, and a mechanical gel also which is applied there, and the fiber ends epoxied or clamped here. You can see that one, a V groove type of substrate, which gives a platform for that, so that here mechanical splicing can be done, and this is known as V groove optical fiber splicing technique. Next, some more information about this. V-groove mechanical splicing provides a temporary joint. As I mentioned, it is a temporary for testing purpose, laboratory purpose. They are using this one, and that is fibers can be dismantled, disassembled if required. So you can make it for just 15 days or 1 month, and later you can, but it's not a permanent structure. But most of the practical case, a permanent structure. Splicing is better, outdoor splicing, and these can intra building, this one they can use that one. But there is a problem that this will be disaligned or misaligned sometimes, and here the fiber ends are butted together in a V shaped groove that is shown in the diagram, And the splice loss depends on the fiber size. The fiber size of the fiber, the multi-mode fiber, and another there's a single mode fiber with laser diode, multi-mode fiber with LED. Different combinations are there. Now let me discuss only with the fibers now, fiber to fiber joining, and size of the fiber. If size of the fiber is more, multi-mode fiber it is a more, and losses are more, and single mode fiber, the fiber size is very small, losses are less. And also splice loss depends on the eccentricity. So there is also another this one, and this is a topic today I covered. And here one has to give importance for the fiber splices and fiber joint losses also, and this is very important, and students they can go through, they can refer the textbooks for the more knowledge, they can refer those two textbooks. Thank you.